Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mostly.
Um,
Hey,
hey,
follow, like,
yes,
subscribe
that's what I was gonna say.
on all of our things. All the things.
Go anywhere. Just follow us. Sorry,
We'll
this
get.
movie just kind of meh.
Blah.
But yeah. So go follow us, like, subscribe, comment. It really helps the podcast out. We appreciate all of you listening. Sorry about this review in advance.
It's fine.
It's gonna be fine. It's a rambler. So we're not gonna go like shot for shot on here. There's no need to.
No, there really isn't. And I mean, look,
I mean,
they
listen,
can't. They can't all be
No,
Razorback.
listen. Okay, I am just bored. Okay, that is my problem. I'm excited we're recording, but this movie is very boring.
It's a thing.
It's just not exciting. I just like it's not. It's not that it's like, fucking just awful garbage. I mean, a lot of it is, but like, it's not like it's just like unwatchable, right? Like, I would probably watch this and still have the same thoughts if I just watched it, not for a podcast.
Yeah,
But
it's not the kind of movie you turn off.
it's not the kind of movie where you're just like, oh, fuck this movie and like immediately turn it off. But it is definitely not a movie that I enjoyed. So
No, it's definitely not. It is not what you would call a top tier slasher.
But yeah, just go into the review knowing that the movie is called Silent Madness. Now, we've watched a lot of shit, so I'm not even gonna say it even deserves that kind of like
No.
horrible shit like
It's,
echelon.
Yeah, no.
It's not even up in the top like
20
or 50 or whatever.
It's just very middle.
It's a mid movie.
Yeah.
It was boring, and it just kind of wastes your time.
It's just kind of there.
Now it is a 3D movie, which I think this is one of the first ones we've watched on the
I think
podcast.
it is the first one.
Yeah, so it's like a 3D
Unless I'm totally
movie,
wrong, but
and
yeah.
the 3D effects from 1984 were not very good. So
Are they ever, though?
no, but
Are they ever?
it's definitely on display here that like how bad
Well,
they can be.
The gimmick.
The gimmick is like poking something into the camera, right? That's the whole thing,
That's every 3D.
right? So, like at certain points in the movie, the murderer like pokes a fucking like a crowbar into the screen,
Or like a big
sledgehammer.
sledgehammer goes at the camera.
But it looks so stupid because
Because we're not watching it in 3D.
well, because they have to like show him poking it, and then they have to cut, and then show like what happens after
In the
that.
aftermath, yeah.
And it's so disconnected that it makes it look dumb.
And obviously we're
Luckily,
watching
you
it.
only get that 3 times, and then one special effects, which is weird,
I mean, I will say it's very
like
early.
like a CGI,
Yeah.
like axe.
It's
is in this
extremely
movie,
early, yeah, and
and it looks like hand drawn on the fucking film.
it's like, yeah, the guy like throws an axe at the camera, and as it's like flying through the air, it basically turns into the effect. Because I mean,
obviously, it's like
they're not gonna
it's
throw
1984. They're not going to throw
an actual axe
an
at the
actual
camera.
axe at the camera because they don't want to break this like new like
Their
very
expensive 3D
expensive
camera.
But yeah, so Silent Madness. I mean, what you basically need to know is it is a slasher film about a sorority. So it's about like a mental institution and a sorority.
Don't get excited.
Don't get excited.
I know,
It's
because when
not-
you say that, it sounds like
I know.
we did have. See, the funny
Yes,
thing is,
we have had.
we had literally the same year.
Yes,
We had a slasher movie with a sorority,
yes,
and that movie was fantastic.
and it was great. This one is not.
This is not that.
So basically,
The
it's like
formula is there, but the executions.
it's like this weird like doctor is like releasing patients because they're overbooked.
they're overcrowded.
and
The
they're
asylum's overcrowded.
So he's like releasing patients. They accidentally release like a mentally insane like psychotic murdering patient out into the wilderness. He goes to a sorority and kills a bunch of people. that's basically your movie.
Yeah, which is in theory fine.
Well, and the good doctor there is going to figure out like and save the day, right? So
Yeah.
she's going to figure out how to
She knows
get
something's
this
up.
patient back into the mental institution, or you know,
Well, because she knows something's that they're lying. Because they're saying that they start saying that,
Right.
oh, no, see, there was a mix-up in the paperwork. He's actually deceased.
right. So yeah, there's a mix up. This doctor's fucked up. He like is doing like weird experiments. Now, don't get too used to this because
They never actually tell you
show,
what the deal is.
Well, they show it once. They show his lab once where he's like experimenting on these patients, but they never go into depth of what he's doing or why he's doing it. Like he just has a wing of the asylum where he just experiments on people and puts them into plastic bags for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's never explained.
No.
And then like the institution's director is like, but like kind of knows he's doing the stuff but doesn't care, and then tries to have like fakes to have the woman's back but really doesn't. So I mean there's just it's just like that's how they continue, like, you know, because they don't want responsibility for this patient going around and killing people. So basically that all kind of transpires. So what you learn is the sheriff is unwilling to help, so she like goes into town.
So we talk to a reporter.
She talks to a reporter who helps helps her.
Yeah.
And then they start like trying to figure out like where he is, what he's doing, and we also get this backstory of like there was this like sorority massacre.
Well, he's the perpetrator.
He is the perpetrator, so
That's why he's in the asylum.
Yeah. So she goes and like digs up a report on like what happened, but then she also talks to the sorority sister mother,
who was she's the mother or whatever of the sorority house where it happened. Now, the sorority house has the world's biggest underground boiler room, and
they store their luggage there for some reason. I don't even know.
Yes.
But again, like they love this boiler room because it is like most of the movie is down here.
Most of your set pieces take place in this.
But the sorority mother tells how they were like hazing.
She's saying that he worked as a janitor there. Yeah. And normally he would be away for Pledge Week or Hell Week, and this time he wasn't. So they were doing their shenanigans, and he saw it.
When he was like creeping on him, and then they like started teasing him by like showing,
like taking their shirt up,
their shirt up and stuff, and then
he saw the forbidden flesh. Will.
Yeah, and then he grabbed a.
Well, they start spanking him, and he's not into that. Okay, so he grabs a what I was like, what is that? Is that a ray gun? Because it looks like something out of Flash Gordon.
I think it's supposed to be a nail gun, but I've never seen a nail gun like that at all.
It's like a nail gun, and he just shoots all of them, like in the head or whatever, with the nail gun.
Yeah, so
that's the sorority house massacre, and now he was in the asylum.
Yeah, that's like our big massacre, and now he's out again. So they think that he's going to kill the sorority sisters because he's deranged and thinks that these are the sorority sisters.
He's still lashing out, yeah.
That are teasing him. So that's basically your setup. That's like that's how the movie is set up, because you have the mystery of who this guy is.
You have a slasher who's slashing.
Yep.
Simple.
That's it.
That's fine.
Now we'll get to the deaths because they're
some
are really good, some are bad. But what do you want to talk about first?
First I'm gonna say because before I forget, in my stupor,
I'm just like unenthused,
this is technically a repeat offender.
I'm sorry if my enthusiasm levels are not there right now, but
honestly, how dare you?
Repeat offender.
This is technically a repeat offender.
Really?
Technically, it's I didn't want it to be. I didn't know.
What happened?
But technically, it is a repeat offender.
What?
Do you remember a film we watched a long time ago when we were more innocent, called Snuff?
Yes.
Now, Snuff, as you may...
Okay,
no.
Okay, all right. I'll let you explain. All right, go ahead.
I
remember Snuff with a weird-ass ending, right?
There's no need to be upset. as some of you may or may not remember, Snuff was a film where you had a film that was shot years prior, and then some gorilla picked it up and tacked on a fake snuff film ending to that movie.
Yes,
Okay.
I do remember that.
That fake tacked on ending was directed by the man who made this film that we watched today.
What?
That's why I said technically.
Well, no, that's weird though, because the end of Snuff had all these like weird effects and like,
No, it didn't.
didn't he pull out her intestines?
Well, he
or
pulled out
whatever?
her guts, but like it was obviously not. Nobody would have bought that it was like an actual snuff film because it still was like the acting was amateurish and it was just kind of like eh.
Well, I mean that trend.
But the reason I say
continued.
technically is because that ending of Snuff was like what 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and he wasn't credited as the director for that whole
Oh,
movie.
Okay, yeah.
But he was the one who directed that ending that they tacked on. So
Nah,
in a way,
okay.
we do have a repeat offender here.
Well, that was like the stupidest part of Snuff.
The whole movie was stupid.
The whole movie was brain dead, but like that
But
was
the ending was literally the title and the whole like hook of the movie was ooh it's a snuff and then you watch some stupid movie about like some like a Manson cult with the worst acting imaginable, and then at the end they're just like surprise motherfucker. But that's our man.
Yeah, okay.
Now I will say, I suppose in a way this is an upgrade because
It's
it's an
kind of
actual movie.
improved, I guess. Yeah.
And the movie doesn't look bad, but it's just
It's just very basic. Like the shots. There's not like a lot of cool shots. There's just like
I will say there's a lot of very long takes. I mean,
which is fine, but
fine.
but I mean none of the actors do outstanding. There's very few actors in this movie that are even competent, I would say.
yeah.
Because a lot of them, especially like the sorority sisters, they're not very good actors. The guy who's playing the slasher is not very good.
Oh my god.
Like he's not convincing.
my
He's not
God.
convincing at all as a slasher.
My favorite thing though, Will, is we have a non-martial arts movie that has a young old man.
Well, but they can. I mean, it's so stupid. They barely put wrinkles on him or anything. They spray painted his hair
No,
gray.
there's no
and then
wrinkles.
put like
They put,
this
like, dark
weird
eyeshadow.
Yeah,
He doesn't. But it's funny because like he has like dark
he
like
doesn't look old at all.
he just looks like he needs sleep.
Yeah, but in the flashback, he did have a wig.
Because they shot it because they clearly cut his hair short for the young old man scenes, and then they filmed that at some point and they needed him to have longer hair because he's young, right? So there you go. But
It is so fake.
it's fine.
But okay, so yeah, I did not know it was a repeat offender. I guess that kind of makes sense now, because it has that same flair. But like,
Does
what I
it
was,
though?
well, no, what I was saying with the effects is like, at least there was some effects in the end of the Snuff.
Well, they had to. That was the whole.
But there was very little in this movie.
This movie has, as far as actual like, I don't know the most.
Well, because a lot of the deaths are off screen.
Yeah, the most actual the most effects you get is near the very end with the drill.
Well, yeah, and then a little bit when he's like murdering the two in the van.
Barely. The other one I was gonna say, and even then it's like, I mean, they just have like the fake blood is the head in the vice.
Well, yeah,
But
and
for a
I guess
slasher-
when he like stabs her back, a little piece of flesh comes off the
Yeah, when she's playing
the knife for some reason. Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair. But other than that, I mean, it's a slasher movie. Like, come on, give me a fucking break. I want to see gore. Like,
Well, I
we watch these movies.
not even like excessive gore, but like almost none of the deaths are on screen.
There's a lot of deaths.
It's kind of annoying because I hate that in a slasher movie, and we're slasher movie fans. I hate when they cut away from the murder.
Yeah, why would you?
It reminds me of like a PG-13 horror movie.
Yeah, there's
It's just some like baby shit where they're just like, okay, like, you know, just to save the eyes of
Yeah, I
all
know.
the watchers, we're not going to show the death on screen.
All the babies in the audience.
And it's so easy to do that because then you don't have to have any blood. You have to have almost virtually no effects.
Nothing.
And it's fucking easy to do that. That is the easiest, laziest way to do a slasher movie.
Yeah, and it's like the whole point of this is that it's supposed to be on screen and like horrifying or whatever, but it's just kind of...
One is clearly rated R. They swear.
There's nudity.
There's nudity.
And the handful of deaths
there
that
is
do,
gore.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly rated R. Why couldn't they have gone more into depth on those deaths?
On all the deaths, yeah.
But, like, I mean, for instance, yeah, you're right. Like, the first death is them at the van.
Yeah, they, it's
like a couple at a van. They're camping out. And he starts hitting the van with a sledgehammer. And then he almost hits the 3D camera. And then... the next scene is the guy flying back because he hit him with a sledgehammer.
He hit him on the head with a sledgehammer, and then the woman runs out, and that's when he throws the axe at the camera, and it turns into a very early CGI effect, and it, like, stabs her in the back.
And then she falls back.
And then she,
it's supposed to be a 3D effect of, like, the axe falling
handle
towards you.
Yeah.
And that's the first death, so virtually no gore in that, except for, like, a little bit of blood on the sledgehammer and some blood when the axe, like, sticks into her back.
Then there's the woman at the sorority, I guess, who's she's going away and she's on a skateboard.
Well, she's going away to, like... Well, no, that's not the one that's going to Daytona.
No, this one has no, like...
Right, there's no reason.
There's no backstory to this one. She just shows up on camera.
Gets on a skateboard, he picks her up and puts her head in a vice grip.
Yeah, he picks her up on, like a bike trail, and next shot is they're in the boiler room, and then he puts her head in the vice and, like, slowly starts crushing her head, and you just see, like, blood dripping down her head, and they kind of, like, they add some sound effects, but you don't really see, like...
Well, blood just keeps, like, dripping down. Like, there's a little bit of crunching sound effects, but not much. And it's like, okay, but, like, any other movie we've watched on this with, like, a slasher movie... would have showed like a fake head caving in or something.
Something more.
Something a little bit more. Or like just the start of the head caving in and then cut away.
Yeah.
Because it's too violent, obviously, to show the entire like head being crushed. But
in most cases, it's not that it's too violent. It's that they literally wouldn't let them release it.
Yeah, it's too brutal.
It would be they the MPAA and they'd give it the X rating or whatever. So it's like, okay, whatever. You literally don't have a choice. But in this case, like...
They could have done a little more.
There's nothing in this that would even come close to pushing this.
This is I would argue this is a very soft R-rated movie.
Nothing in this would push that boundary. Especially, hell, this is the same year that we watched The Mutilator.
Yeah, which was insane.
Which had fucking just assaulted you with lit deaths. But this, yeah. Then after the head, it was a flashback.
It was
right?
a flashback, and then we also... So I think we get the girl that's going to Daytona. Remember, she goes down to get her luggage?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Duh.
So she's going to Daytona. She tells the sorority sisters to come with her. No one wants to go. And then she goes downstairs to get her luggage.
Which is in the weird, creepy room.
Boiler room.
Yeah.
And then... So she's grabbing the luggage and, like, starts walking out, and he, like, comes out of nowhere. And
No, she's standing at like a ledge, and yeah, he grabs her.
Oh yeah, and tries to pull her down, but then she gets away and like runs up this ladder, and
he's immediately up there.
Somehow up there. It's like the like that slasher movie effect where they seem to be everywhere, but there's no rhyme or reason to.
Not in this one. No, there's just
because like in other slasher movies, sometimes there's like a supernatural element.
Yeah, I was gonna say
something like that where they like the boogeyman or something like that, but. In this one, it's just a guy. So how does he keep fucking teleporting everywhere? Because it happens multiple times in the movie where he just appears right where he needs to be.
I completely forgot for a moment how she died because it was such a nothing burger.
Yeah. It's like
but yeah, he puts her head in front of like a pipe.
And just like puts on the steam and then it cuts away.
But it's like, what is that doing? Like, is it supposed to be hot, cold, what? We never... Like nothing.
We do see later when she finds the body, the face is burned. But again, we don't know.
It's nothing.
But it's stupid.
Like this is a baby death. That's a baby death.
And from this point forward, all of them are baby deaths except for one.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing is I will say, because after this we get the flashback, and there is like blood when he's shooting them with the nails or whatever.
Well, it's all black and white though.
But it is black and white, so it's kind of a cheat. Then after that, we
get to the oh, it's the
it's the two in the two in the sorority house, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he kills one at the Dragon Lair arcade machine.
Yeah, she's playing Dragon's Lair and dying, as is the true. I joked.
I mean, you joke, but Dragon's Lair is
I joked with Will.
Insanely hard.
Well, it's funny because she's playing and she's just like, God damn it, don't die. And I joked with Will that this is the most realistic depiction of any video game in a movie.
Yeah.
Because most movies, when people play video games, they're just kind of like mashing buttons and it's just like, okay, you're not actually playing a video game, whatever. But in this movie, she's just like, don't fucking die. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. But as she is screaming, don't die, he comes up behind her. Again, teleports. He's just there.
Stabs her in the back.
And there's like a little
And
baby bit of... He has like a little... I swear, he has the little baby knife.
Well, the other sorority sister is like hanging upside down from a pole.
Exercising.
And like exercising, and then she like sees him and is like, no, and he like knocks her out.
And then he grabs a giant length of rope.
I would argue this is the dumbest death in the entire movie.
Well, this is a complete cutaway. You'll see
it's
nothing.
And it's fucking stupid because it's not like horrific. It's just like stupid.
Yeah, because like if we saw something, I would be more forgiving if we saw something, anything. But she's hanging upside down, and he ties a weight to her head, and then she like wakes up and is like screaming for the woman to save her, and he throws the weight out the window,
and you just see the rope get taut.
You see the rope get tight, and then that's it.
Yep.
Like the woman walks in the room and like is looking horrified, but you have no idea. Like, did she like get choked? Did her head get like nothing? I mean, I get it. I know that
what they were going for.
I know there's like crazy deaths, weird deaths in slasher movies, but if we at least saw like, I don't know, a head go flying out the window.
Well, they couldn't even show the actress like suspended.
No, nothing.
Like
nothing.
They couldn't have like done the thing where, you know how they like have that weird like attachment in the back of their It's like a harness where they like that's how they like show people hanging in movies because they have a harness that has a hook in the back. They couldn't even show that, like her just hanging there.
Nope.
It wouldn't even be like gory. It just would have been her like just dead hanging there. They couldn't.
You wouldn't even need to do the harness well because she's hanging upside down by her legs, so they couldn't know. It would take them even less effort because they wouldn't need the harness.
Yeah,
she's already hanging there.
Exactly.
But no, they couldn't even. Nope. Nothing. Just off camera.
Couldn't even shown her like limp body, like just hanging there. Nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's stupid. It's just like it's such a stupid slasher movie.
It's a nothing burger of a scene.
Yeah.
And then there's these two creeps at the hospital.
Yeah, they're like the henchmen of the fucking weird like experiment doctor. And they go after the woman because she's digging too deep. And
because she's finding out too much, and the hospital sends them to get the killer.
Yes.
And get the woman to silence them.
Yeah, so they catch up with her, but they get her like so okay. We also like so sorry, I'm all over the place. The sorority sisters, like one of them wants to go camping with her sister, so the guy but the woman wants to stay with the other sorority sisters to keep them safe.
Yes.
So and this is before they get like choked and stabbed. We missed one death. Not one death, but we missed like a story point where.
But we weren't doing story points. We're doing deaths, Will.
I know.
How dare you?
But I want to set up why these like henchmen.
Why the goons are there?
Yeah.
Why they're doing this?
So we have to set up why they're at the sorority. So basically, the guy takes this girl to like the campsite. They figure out the fucking sister and the sister's boyfriend are dead.
They're the people in the beginning in the van.
So he takes her back to like a log, like a cabin, I guess. I don't even know.
Someone he knows
finds like a gun. She like stays there, and then he drives back, and the henchmen follow him back there.
Because he's driving the woman's car, so they think it's her, and they follow him back.
Like I said, I know we're rushing through this movie, but like it's just nothing. So that's how they get to the sorority, and now they're chasing her through this house, and they chase her into the boiler room.
No, they don't.
Oh no, they don't. Yeah, because the guy fucking like attacks them.
There's an uncle fight, and they get knocked out.
They get knocked out.
She gets knocked out because she trips over one of their bags.
He knocks her out. The guy tries to save her, but like can't.
Wait, what? No! What are you talking about?
Sorry, no, he comes in later because he's tied up in the back of the ambulance.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. I'm jumping to the end of the movie. I just want this fucking to be over with. Okay. I'm jumping to the end. Yeah, he takes her down to the boiler room. He like rigs up a contraption that will like when he turns on the fucking power, a power drill will like
stop it. He doesn't rig up anything. Yeah, you say rigs up a contraption. That implies more than actually happens in the movie.
I guess he plugs it in, but
it's already plugged in.
But like,
it's a power switch.
I don't get why he does the whole thing where it's like, he
tests it.
Well, he like tests it. He presses the button,
and then on the wall,
and then it drills, and then he like there's like a circuit breaker that he like tests too to make sure it goes off.
I don't know why he does that.
That's why I said
but it's not a contraption.
I know, but like I don't know why
the movie's not that clever.
I don't know why it happens that way. Why does he do both? Why does he test that it's working and then test what happens when the power goes off and on?
Because he wants to know what happens when he presses the button to drill her head. So yeah, he lays her down, and then he hears the two idiots. They've woken up and they come there.
God, I'm all over. You just fucking finished the review. I'm done.
No, we got more.
I'm done.
We got more details we got to go over.
Know.
How dare you?
No, I know. So I stopped jumping around all over the place.
No, he hears the idiots coming, so he like goes away. She's still knocked out, and they show up there, and they kept like, they've been like hounding her through the whole movie. So when they find her all tied up, one of them is like he's about to like fucking basically assault her, and
because he like starts unbuttoning.
I can't see anything. Turn on the lights, and the other guy, the fucking idiot. I swear to God, I can't believe they did it like this. I can't believe it. He turns on the lights. And the guy's like, ooh, yeah, ooh la la. And the guy's like looking at the fucking switches. And he's like, what does this do?
Yeah, he literally does that. He turns on the drill and it drills into the back of his friend's head. And then he's all shocked, and the guy comes back down, and then
the guy wakes up because they knocked him out somehow.
How they?
I don't even remember how they knocked him out.
Remember they spray that weird shit into his mouth, and then
I don't even know.
And then they fucking like hit him with something. I don't remember. But anyway, so he wakes up. They have an uncle fight again, and then he pokes the fucking he has a crowbar and he pokes it at the screen, and he stabs the guy, even though he doesn't quote unquote stabs the guy,
and he's done for.
Yeah, so the guy dies, and then
the last death is our killer. He's
Should we build up to the So he chases her around the fucking boiler room. She shoves him into a fucking like electrical panel with like sparklers going off, which looks like it looks so stupid. Because there's this part because she finds his like death room, right? Like
every slasher movie has
like all the fucking dead bodies are stored there, and she gets all freaked out, and then she pushes him. It says like danger, high voltage, and she pushes him into the controller, which doesn't make like really any sound. There was no like effect.
It's just him shaking.
Well, it's just him shaking with like sparklers going off in the background. And then he like chases her again through like the vents.
Yeah.
And I do love, this is one of my favorite scenes because she's like down in the vents and like he turns on a fan so she can't escape the certain way.
Are you talking about the rotor?
Yeah,
the rooter?
He takes like this rooter. It's like a drain rooter, right? But it's like big and it looks like super dull, and it's just like these two prongs. It almost looks like a crane game. Like
I was gonna say, it looks like one of those.
It looks like a crane game, like crane that like
the fucking
grabs like stuffed animals.
Yeah, that claw, like. Like
So
that scene
and it's
where
just-
he's fucking waving it down at her. You might as
I
well
love
be
it because no, like when he's feeding it down, it's not even spinning.
No, it starts spinning when it's further down, and it starts spinning. But I swear to God, they keep showing that shot, and all I can think of now is the fucking alien things from Toy Story.
Well, I love how you're like, did you or me say it? You're like, how is that supposed to kill her? And I'm like, it's supposed to annoy her to death.
And I lost it because like it's not sharp; it just spins. And I'm like, how is that gonna kill her? Like, what is that gonna do?
Like it might hurt her a little bit, but it wouldn't kill her.
No,
Like none of the like.
hell, she could grab the rope and just that's it. It's immobile.
Or just duck out of the way of the fucking rooter, and then
my
and then like
God.
you said, grab the rope, because the rooter's like this small like thing on this
Grab
rope.
the rope right above it.
And she's in this huge fucking duct. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
plenty of room, and then but of course she gets out. She just kicks the fucking vent. There's another thing where she's like going through the vent, and he knows exactly where she is at all times, and I have no idea how.
Because he's
He's
magic.
fucking superhuman.
He's Mr. Silent Madness. Okay.
So the rooter doesn't work. Surprise,
No
surprise.
shit.
Like I love how I that's my favorite scene because they built it up like it's supposed to be like horrifying.
Yeah, you see him like
Right, like,
grab it and
he's
pull
like,
it out, and
I'm like, because he even said, "What the fuck is that?"
yeah, I'm like, what is that?
And it's like a fucking like dull ass like small rooter bit.
Like, what is he gonna do with it? It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing.
That's why it's the best scene in the movie. Because
Like, what is he gonna do with that fucking thing? Like,
Like I love how like threatening and looming it's supposed to be. Like you know how like in those movies where like the walls are like caving in and
Yeah.
like, it's like spikes or like spikes on the ceiling that are slowly coming down. They kind of film it like one of those scenes where
But
it's
it's-
like the rooter is slowly coming down and it starts
It's spinning.
spinning, and it looks so fucking stupid.
it's fucking embarrassing. Like, what is that gonna do?
Nothing.
I don't get it.
Annoy her to death.
Like I don't know. I can't. I struggle to think of like a less threatening slasher weapon I've seen in my life. I can't think of it.
Yeah, because I mean, even like that, like Hook from that other movie was like threatening.
What, the garden tool? Are you
Yeah.
talking about that?
Yeah,
Well, it's sharp.
yeah. Or like, what was that movie where? God, I can't remember the name. But where they had the fishing, like the angler hook, like the giant like angler hook that they
You
like.
mean the mutilator?
Yeah, where he.
Well, the mutilator had a bunch of weapons.
Yeah, but they
but-
were all threatening.
But yeah, they could hurt you or kill you, and like, it's like
I mean,
imagine
the mutilator even made a fucking like a fucking boat like propeller.
yeah
a murder
yeah
weapon.
he killed the first guy with
A weed whacker would have been fucking more like threatening.
dude, anything. But it's like a little two-sided,
Dull.
like not sharp, visibly. You can visibly see it's not sharp. Rooter.
That barely spins.
Yeah, and it's like maybe like I don't know, if he was holding it in front of them and he was like threatening to stab her with it, like maybe that's fine because it's like at that point you just have to be strong enough to like stab somebody, right? But it's like it's just hanging from a fucking rope, like 5 feet down. How is that scary? Even if he had like a knife on a rope, like
It would have been scary.
like a knife is at least sharp, right? It'd still be a stupid fucking scene, but at least like okay, a knife is sharp. I don't want to get cut with a knife. But what? It's a fucking rooter. Like, what is she? A fucking like? She's not a fucking like insect in a drain. What are you doing? Like, give me a fucking break.
So she makes a run for it, and they run back into the sorority house, and she runs into the old lady,
Yes,
sorority mother, and the sorority mother's like,
which we know. Earlier she said,
oh well, I should say she breaks a bunch of glass. It's like all supposed to be 3D, and like she's like
she
swinging.
smashes. She throws she throws an ashtray at a mirror specifically to grab a.
She's like swinging at him because she grabs a shard and starts swinging at him, and then like finds the older lady while he's like trying to like.
No, he
no.
he knocks her out.
Yeah, sorry.
The guy walks
God
in.
damn it! I'm just fucking explain the movie. I'm fucking jumping all around. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Will's finished. She gets knocked out by
This is
the guy.
like the worst review I've done because, like, holy shit, I'm fucking jumping
Yeah.
the gun on everything.
The gun. Yeah, she gets knocked out. Our dude, who's been tied up in the ambulance,
I don't.
earlier when she was running away from him, she like woke him up, and he has his like little fucking gun with him, and he runs in there, hands tied behind his back, and is like, "Hey," and he does this fucking like
Maneuver.
move where he's like got the gun behind his back, and he like does a back thing and tries to shoot the dude
And
from the back,
totally misses.
and of course misses. But I'm still like, I was still baffled. I'm like, I can't believe I just saw that. And he jumps on him and starts choking him, and then the old woman comes out and is like, Francis,
and I called it before because I said, like, I bet
she
you
mentioned
it's her
earlier
son.
she had a son named Francis, and God took him away
And I was like, I bet you anything it's the son.
because she's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like that character's kind of weird.
So, like, Francis, and, like, the the woman grabs the shard and, like, stabs him in the neck.
And then he dies.
And she's like, "No, you whore, you slut," like all this like horrible shit. And she's like, doesn't she like confess to?
Off camera.
Oh, okay.
How did you Well, we only
don't
we only
know.
edited this movie like 10 minutes ago.
I know. It's
No, because
fucking-
it cuts and they're outside and there's like ambulances and everything, and then she's like saying, "Yeah, I guess he was her son," and she confessed to everything to me, and like how he was
When
an
does it
illegitimate
show-
child.
Is that when it shows the flashback of her holding the like fucking?
Yeah,
pew
it's
pew?
after she kills him, after she screams at her, and then before it shows like the aftermath. It
That's
does
what
a
I was
quick
think-
thing
See, that's what I was thinking.
where it's them all like showing their boobies to him, and she comes in there, "You whores, I'll get you."
That's where I got confused. I'm sorry. That's where I got confused. That's where I like because I couldn't remember where the flashback was. Where it, like
yeah, she pews them.
yeah. So and then everything's fine. They're taking all the bodies into the fucking ambulance, and then
The hospital, everyone at the hospital is fired.
yes,
They're all done for,
yep. And then
and that's when the film ends.
yeah, she like hands the ring back to the guy, and they are going to go to New York for some reason.
Because it's happy ending.
Yeah, and then it ends. So
The other thing, let me see, because there's other things that happen in the movie. Did we mention the fact that the evil doctor has everyone in like plastic bags in his
we did
ward?
mention the plastic bags, but we didn't. I mean, it goes nowhere. They don't really explain
Here's my question,
anything.
because there's the whole shady thing,
Which honestly, if they went more into that, that might be more interesting than what actually happened.
which is nothing, because there's the whole thing where they are covering up that they released a psycho killer.
Yes.
Okay, they're covering it up.
Yeah.
And then the closest we get to any sort of like explanation is when the two idiots are driving to get the killer and the woman. The guy's like, they're like talking back and forth, and the guy's like, "Why the hell did you let him out anyway?" And he's like, "Well, come on, I do what the computer tells me." And that's it. That's all we get.
Well, and so it was an actual mix-up, I guess, and then they're just trying to cover it up. But like, again, there's no resolution to that fucking evil doctor thing.
Yeah, it's like he just gets fired, and it's like, okay, but what's the deal with like his weird hospital ward? Like, is he doing like? Because I thought it was going to be something about him doing like experiments, and then this guy.
Well, and in normal slasher films, like they would have probably showed like because this guy's horrific doing all these experiments. He's usually the guy that fucking dies.
Usually, yeah, he dies because he is technically
Why
the big villain.
Why couldn't they have shown him experimenting on the guy? The guy gets like out of one of the contraptions and fucking like kills the doctor, and that's how he escapes. Wouldn't that have been more exciting than whoopsie doopsies? We fucking mixed up two guys' names. Sorry.
It's a clerical error.
That is literally why he was released. So like it's such a stupid reason because it's actually like the reason in the movie. They didn't like just release a maniacal like psychopath just because they wanted to. It was just a whoopsie doopsies kind of moment. Even though it would have been cooler if he killed the scientist and then fucking escaped. Killed the doctor and escaped. Wouldn't that have been better and more motivation? to start in the movie.
No, that's too exciting.
It's too exciting for this movie.
There's no resolution because there's no explanation really
Well,
why they
also,
really like what I mean. If it really is that, if all I'm supposed to take away from this is literally just a goof of paperwork, then like, boy, is my dick limp because it's just, is that it?
I'm led to believe that because they don't give any other
Yeah,
explanation to
because
it.
like at that point, why even establish that he's got like we have a creepy doctor with a creepy hospital ward with 2 fucking creepazoids working there, and even they talk about like how they've had to do this before, like they've had to go and like fetch
Yeah.
people, so like, but there's nothing. It just goes nowhere.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing.
like, why is the director like somewhat on the main woman's side,
And then not.
and then literally the next scene she's like ratting her out and like, I don't get it. Like, there's this movie just
Yeah, it goes nowhere.
it's so mid. This is such a mid movie.
Yeah, it just goes nowhere. Like that whole thing goes nowhere, and it just feels like a missed. It feels like a missed opportunity because it feels like a big like ingredient of the movie is just missing.
Well, it's like a slasher movie where this happens, where it's like there's not like exciting deaths. There's not really like a good solid plot because you don't have to have much plot in a slasher movie.
Guy kills people.
Guy
That's it.
kills people. That's it. Like you could just have him escape from an asylum. We've seen plenty of movies that do it like that.
Our next film. No, I'm not saying. I mean, I'm obviously not saying what it is, but our next film for '84 and the final one of '84 is extremely simple, and yet I will say right now we are both gonna love it.
But like your plot it can be simple, but don't like fill it with a bunch of holes that like don't get any resolutions.
Well, it has to at least make sense. It has to fit. Like it has to in the logic of its own
There just
universe.
has to be a reason all this shit is happening.
Like in the logic of your movie universe, it has to all fit. And if as simple as it is, it has to fit.
I'm even being honest, the bamboozle at the end where it's the fucking mom that killed all the sorority sisters is kind of lame too.
Yeah.
Like they could have done so much like with that, like, but it's just lame. Like if that was actually happening, why was
The real bamboozle will, and this might be better than what we actually got because I'm sorry, the slasher is not, he does not spark joy. Okay,
no?
put it that way. The real bamboozle would have been if they kept the killer somewhat off screen for the whole movie, and then they lead you to believe that he is the killer, and at the very end you find out that not only did the mom kill the women in the past, she's killing them now.
Or at the very least, she's helping him kill them.
Yes.
Like a duo kind of thing. Or because like I mean they establish he's mute, which is why it's called Silent Madness.
Yeah.
But like it literally doesn't come to play at all in the fucking movie.
No. By
Like,
the way, can we did
It's
forget-
we forgot your favorite part. But like it's just a throwaway line where he's like, "Oh yeah, he was mute."
my favorite part.
Yeah, where she gets attacked by him kind of. So, god, it's so fucking stupid.
Okay, now normally
Oh my god.
I would say normally in your slashers, usually your main character in the slasher do not like come face to face.
They don't interact until like
the
the
end.
end. Yeah.
Which is why you have the final girl, right? Usually. I'm not saying that that's like a rule that has to be followed at all times because obviously there's movies that don't do that and they're still good. But those movies also have better slashers. There's a scene in this movie that happens like halfway through where she goes into the room with the luggage in the boiler and she's walking around and she kneels down to like look at a piece of paper or something and you see a shadow like
This scene broke my brain. I still don't get what they were trying to go for here.
don't ask. Let the jimmies be wrestled, okay? Because she turns around and he is there. Eyes closed. He's just there, eyes closed. And she's like, Howard. And then like stands up and he's like kind of like just standing there and she's like, listen, like let's go outside, like trying to like calm him down. He like grabs her and she's like, and then she's like, don't. And then like screams and starts running away, and runs away,
Yeah.
and that's
He doesn't like try and kill her or anything.
a scene.
I don't understand that scene.
All this leads to is her telling everybody that he's still alive and she saw him and no one believes her.
Yeah.
That's what it leads to. Now, okay, I just this scene is so pathetic. It's like it's the least intimidating way I could possibly think of to present your villain.
Well, what's weird is they've shown him before this, so it's like it's
Yeah.
not like a reveal.
Yeah.
It's not like the big like slasher reveal. They've
Right.
already shown his face
Yeah, right.
multiple times.
Yeah, they don't,
So
they don't hide it.
I don't understand what they were going for here.
Yeah, because it's not intimidating in any way.
It's like really awkward, actually.
It is extremely awkward.
It's like very cringy. And
Largely
like,
because for
awkward.
some reason he has his eyes closed for most of it. Why that's the case, I have no idea.
I don't think I'll ever understand why they did that. But
His eyes are completely shut for most of it, and it's just like you reveal him, and again, your slasher's not in any way intimidating or scary. It's just
when he like grabs her, but it's not like scary at all. Again, it's just awkward.
yeah, and he like he doesn't he just kind of grabs her and like holds her for a few seconds. That's it. Like it doesn't like lead to anything. She's not like I don't know, like I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know those movies where like your main character comes in contact with the killer and then they like there's like a thing where he's like about to like kill her or whatever, and then she starts like I mean, they could have done this because she is a doctor in a hospital and an insane asylum. So you could have had a scene where like he's about to like confront her and kill her, and then she like uses her, her skills as a psychiatrist or whatever to like talk him down and talk him out of it, right?
Or maybe leaves behind a bit of evidence or something.
Yeah.
Because she does find a bracelet, but she doesn't keep it. Like, I don't get why.
Yeah, it's like his name tag or something.
Yeah, and she like has a bracelet, and then she's like, I kept it. And then like literally
gone.
that goes nowhere.
Well, she loses it, and we don't see her lose it. It's just gone. Like, good, okay, thanks, movie. But yeah, it's like you could have done anything, and I don't know.
Well, like, it's such a mid movie. They just couldn't do anything exciting with it. They couldn't fucking like figure it out. They like, it's just a fucking just boring ass slasher movie. They couldn't crack the code on this one.
I think that's probably why most slashers where it's like not like I think that's why most slashers where the villain isn't like supernatural or like a monster, where it's just a guy. I think that's why most of those slashers keep that person off screen and hidden.
Well,
Because
so
I
there's
just
some
think that-
mystery and some like tension.
Yeah, it adds mystery, tension, but the other issue is with a movie like this, like he's just not fucking cool. Like
No, there's nothing unique about him.
there's nothing like
It's like a fucking young old guy. They
It's a
spray
young old
painted,
man.
like his fucking hair gray and
Yeah.
put like heavy eye makeup on him, and that's it.
it's just a young old man.
He looks so stupid.
There's nothing.
Why didn't they reveal him in the fucking first like right when he fucking starts killing? They like show his face fully there.
That's it. Yeah,
They don't conceal him at all. They don't fucking even try to.
hell, even like other movies where, let's say they show the guy on camera, right? They'll have him wear a mask or something. Something.
I mean, not even that. Like, I mean, it's so simple to like hide the fact that it's him.
But because it's like, okay, fine. Let's say it's this movie, right? And we don't give a shit about hiding anything. We don't give a shit about mystery, really. Okay, maybe have him wear a mask. Because I'm sorry, when you see him, like the emotion I feel when I see this dude come on camera is of pure indifference. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't give a shit. There's nothing intimidating or scary or even memorable.
I feel pure indifference when I watch this movie.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing memorable about this killer.
Obviously, there was nothing memorable about this movie because I literally like lost plot points while we were explaining it.
And we just, yeah, we
And we
barely
literally just stopped watching it. That if you want to know how mid this movie was, That literally happened. We literally started recording probably 5 minutes after we watched the movie, and I couldn't recall certain key plot points.
Yeah, and Will literally played himself.
Yes,
It's okay. Well, I remembered for you.
I stumbled my way through this fucking review.
I will. I'm sure I will start forgetting quickly, shortly. But
I remembered most of it, but there was some stuff that I played myself on for sure.
I'm trying to make sure there's nothing. Oh yeah, right. I forgot the most important scene actually,
What?
where somebody has cereal with Coca-Cola.
Yeah, for some reason. Maybe that's an '80s thing. I have no idea. But
I don't think that's an '80s thing.
I don't think that's an
think
anything
any-
thing. I don't know why anyone would do that.
I don't think anybody.
I don't know why. Who puts Coke in their cereal? I want to know.
It's fine.
Hopefully, no one.
It
Because
added-
I will try not to judge you, but if you do,
It added flavor
Wow.
to the movie.
it did.
That's all.
That's like the only thing it did add. But like acting mid, camera work mid, cinematography mid, fucking
Music mid.
music mid. The slasher was fucking dumb. I'm not even gonna say mid on
It's not
that.
even mid. It's
The
just
slasher was
yeah.
fucking stupid as fuck.
it's a young old man.
But because it was dumb, and the fucking mom, which they could have done way more with, but who fucking cares?
Doesn't matter.
Because it obviously didn't matter to them making the movie. Why does it matter to us now? So, just like everything's so fucking just basic, bare bones bullshit. It's just such a just meh.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's literally my whole critique of this movie. It's meh. It's not good enough to watch, but it's not bad enough to like scoff at either.
Yeah,
It's
like I
just,
said,
but it's not worth your time. I guarantee it's not worth your fucking time.
it's just very middle of the road.
Yep. So if you want to watch a middle of the road, fucking go to Tubi and watch Silent Madness. We didn't watch it there, but
Yeah, enjoy,
yeah,
I guess.
have fun. The ads are going to be funner than actually watching the movie. So
It'll be a little less blurry.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It was really weird watching it because like this is like a Blu-ray rip. But
Because it's a 3D, I guess something
it's like
about
a
the way
3D
it's
camera,
filmed.
but like yeah, the center of the screen was clear, and then everything around it was blurry.
Yeah, I guess it's just something about the camera where it's like that. It just creates that effect. So the whole time you're watching it, especially in a movie like this where there's a lot of like wide shots.
What's weird is that makes me think they filmed the entire fucking movie on a 3D camera.
I think they did.
Why?
Why not?
It's not like the whole
The gimmick.
movie was 3D.
They had to have the gimmick.
I
Listen,
know, but why not just film those certain scenes in 3D?
No idea. I have no idea.
Like, I just thought of that. Why? Like, other movies figured it out. Like, you just fucking film the big 3D scenes in 3D, but don't film the fucking whole movie in it.
Why not? Probably so that I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I guess if you happen to catch this in a 3D showing, the whole thing would be popping.
If there's a way you can watch this in 3D, I'd
Enjoy, I guess. I mean,
I guess
I'm
yeah.
sure there is a way.
I'm sure there is. Maybe if you have a 3D TV or some shit like that. I don't know. But enjoy if you can. I don't think it'll add to anything, but
You'll get a lovely.
it's still going to be a stupid movie.
You'll get a lovely cartoon axe flying at you.
That I actually would love to see that scene in 3D.
I think unfortunately they peaked with that because
Yeah, that was like their whole budget right there.
that extremely early CG work could not have been cheap.
No. Oh god, no. That little axe was
Holy
probably
shit.
very expensive. They probably blew their entire fucking budget on that shit.
Yeah, their entire load was blown. And then
They're like, we could get famous actors, or we could CG 30 seconds of an axe.
man, even if they did get famous actors, would it matter?
No.
The movie's still what it is.
No, but I'm just saying, like that.
The structure of this house is not stable.
I'm just saying they probably had that discussion where they're like, okay, we can have this scene where we CG 30 seconds of a fake axe.
30?
Oh,
You mean like
like 2
seconds?
2 seconds of a fake axe, or we can maybe put some decent actors in this movie.
Or
And
we
they're like,
yeah, or we can have
they're
like
like-
some decent like background actors.
they're like, I want the axe.
We gotta have the axe. Hey, it's a 3D movie.
We gotta have the axe.
Why wouldn't you?
2 seconds of a fucking cartoon axe.
Listen, no one's gonna pay to see this movie because we have what's his name in it. But if there's a 3D axe flying at you, somebody might tell their friends to see it. Got him. Okay, business sense. This is the man who directed The End of Snuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's great. The innovator.
Yeah, we were innovating all the time. Okay. We went from directing a total fucking meme or end scene to a feature-length film.
Oh my god. That tracks. Shitty to pretty.
I just have to be, stern but fair because it is a slasher, so I obviously can't hate it, and it is very middle of the road, and I guess I got some extremely, extremely mild joy at parts. I'll give it a 5.
I was going to give it a 5, but I was so bored out of my fucking skull. I think I'm just gonna tone it down just 1. I'm gonna give it 4.
Okay.
Because
fair.
I think I hated this movie a little bit more than you did, just because I was bored.
I didn't hate it. I mean, the one thing I hated.
I guess I don't hate it. I just wish there was just so much that could have been better.
I hated the Rooter, and I hated the fact that there's no resolution of the hospital shit.
The Rooter scene was highly entertaining though, because they thought that shit looked cool.
I don't even want to know what they thought. This man directed The End of Snuff.
I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to dive into his brain.
I don't know. I don't want to know what it looks like.
I don't either.
I don't know if he's still alive. If he's still alive, he should do that thing where you donate your brain to be studied. Like they do with serial killers. Yeah. They study their brains. Can we have the fucking man who directed The End of Snuff and Saw Madness? Can we have his brain studied? Yeah. It's just goop.
Let's see what it probably is.
It's just rooters and fucking. Why didn't Snuff end with someone getting fucking disemboweled with a rooter?
I mean, that would have been more entertaining than what we got. So.
Yeah, where there's just some guy who's fucking. They finished filming the end scene, and then he's like, "Hey guys, film this. You want to see a movie?" And then rip open guts. And
it's so stupid. God damn it.
Go see a real killing on camera. Yeah, okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, fucking... real killing my ass.
Yeah, okay, sure.
The fakest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I just don't get it. It was even edited. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know.
Who edits a snuff film?
Well, because it was supposed to be this, I guess he is an innovator. It's like a found footage kind of shit.
Yeah, but it's edited.
Well, yeah, but it's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be he's actually killing her.
Well, yeah, obviously, but it's nobody would watch that and be like, yeah, this is real footage.
I know, and because it was edited. There's cuts.
There's extremely.
It wasn't it was one steady shot.
There's extremely questionable acting and
that's a stretch.
We are innovating all day and making snuff films with people dying through questionable acting.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That was Silent Madness. I was about to say Silent Night. Silent Madness.
Might as well.
Yeah, right. I know. Seriously. God. So yeah, Silent Madness. Go watch it if you want a really mediocre slasher movie.
Yeah, if you're really hitching for that. If you're deathly afraid of rooters, please watch this movie.
I don't know why you would be, but
I mean, if that's your nightmare,
you know what? Maybe it'll shock
your father was if your father was a plumber and one day he fucking, I don't know, you saw Daddy kissing the rooter.
Yep.
Now you're just
you
get nightmares of rooters. Here's the movie for you, baby.
No, it's gonna clean out my drains. It's gonna clean out my drains like a rooter. No.
As I got the movie for you. Okay.
You want to know the only movie in existence where they tried to use a rooter as a murder weapon? Silent Madness.
Yeah, boy. Those rooters they used to clean fucking air conditioning ducts? Yeah. They got one in this one, I guess.
I wish you would have been shitters full and just fucking.
If she was in if she was in a pipe, right? Maybe. But the fact that she's in an air conditioning duct.
Well, no, not just an air conditioning duct,
huge,
a huge, you could have put fucking 4 people in that fucking duct.
Comfortably.
Yeah,
and If she was in like a pipe or something, fine, whatever, maybe it'd still be stupid, but it'd make more sense.
But
What?
a little baby rooter in this fucking just gigantic fucking ventilation shaft.
Like what? Could they not think of a fucking weapon that has to do with like air conditioning? I guess. I don't. You know.
Why not have her like? Okay, you know what?
fucking dumb.
I'm done. Why not have her crawling through? I was gonna say, why not have her crawling through the fucking fan, and then he like tries to turn it on. She has to get out of it before it turns.
Technically, he did turn it on.
I know, but she wasn't even trying.
But she didn't try to crawl through it. She just crawled through the duct right next to it. Yeah.
They're just fucking stupid. There was no tension in that scene, and then they fucking dropped the rooter.
They dropping the rooter.
They dropped the rooter. So new jump the shark. They dropped the rooter.
I think we got our tagline.
They dropped the rooter.
Oh god, that could. Oh, that could mean so many things.
You think everything's going fine, and they drop the rooter.
The look you give when they drop the rooter.
Oh god. Okay,
oh Jesus, we're done.
We're getting fucking delirious. All right, thank you all for listening. For They Mostly Come Out at Night. This has been Will.
This is Alex.
We'll talk to you all later.
Yeah, keep your drains clean, please.
Yeah, keep those pipes clean, or else the
rooter are coming.
The rooter man is gonna come get you.
The rooters are coming.
The rooter. Oh, they dropped the rooter.
I cannot fucking believe this.